No, I was just disappointed with the panels and everything. Because even like, it's like Avengers. Okay, cool. Like, you show everyone, but you still don't show Vision. I mean, they get the trailer, but once again, it's shit that was on Entertainment Weekly already. Like, oh, here's Ultron. That's what Ultron looks like. No announcement on Shazam.
It was like the big announcement for Marvel, or the big reveal or whatever. Josh Brolin as Thanos coming out. It's
like officially. Like he was. I thought he was already official.
Yeah, we already knew that.
Meanwhile, with all this doctors,
Facebook official.
Yeah, right. That's what it. Josh Brolin is in a relationship with Thanos.
It's complicated with Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's almost like full-blown P&B relationship.
And that's the that's the thing too, is they showed him at the Avengers panel, nothing with Guardians.
Well, because he's only going to be in Guardians for like a second.
It's like they're not even out with the second one yet. It's like, look who the villain for the third one is. Meanwhile, there's like four or five slots between Avengers 2 and Avengers 3.
Yeah, but Thanos is a big bad to begin with. He's the whole reason Avengers 1 happened.
I guess. I just wanted more. Like, there's no Black Panther announcement. There was no...
It just occurred to me that they only show the movie stuff. There's nothing, no mention of anything going on with the Netflix movie.
They didn't do any of that stuff. Like, I don't know. And even DC, like, oh cool, they showed the next trailer for Arrow next season and like Flash, and like I'm excited for that, but once again, it's just all shit we've been shown in the last...
That one's big reveal. Oh, well, we got the footage.
It's like, oh, Ra's al Ghul.
We saw the footage.
Alright.
Like, you really liked it.
Yeah, but I'm like, where's... I want to know about Shazam. Like, especially with like 4 days before Comic-Con, The Rock being like, oh, all you gotta do is say a word. I'm thinking like they're gonna have a Shazam reveal, and they're gonna tell you what the other holes are filled, like, or gonna be filled with movies. Like, nothing.
Well, remember last year? I remember standing at the con. I think we were at the DC booth.
We were we were outside because we sent Jasper in to go to the panel.
Yeah, but I thought we got not confirmations. We got the news Batman versus Superman while we were there at the DC booth. Like, we didn't know, and then we're like, oh my god, are you kidding me? There are announcements already. This is crazy, man. Still, it's already just come out. What the heck?
No,
now we're at like the opposite.
Now it's like, oh cool, well, it's 2 years till this starts.
And then it was 2 years ago that Marvel was released like 4 of the movie names, or was that last year?
See, I thought that was last year. They had everybody who's gonna be in Guardians there, and I think they revealed like 2 roles or something.
Yeah.
And then they announced Ant-Man, and they announced Age of Ultron officially.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because we were talking about the comic book being confusing with the movie.
Yeah, I was mad about it.
Yeah, and then this year, here's Wonder Woman's outfit.
Well, the thing is what,
really
like,
good.
Yeah.
And then like the day before the panel, it's like, oh, they're in negotiations to cast Joaquin Phoenix as Doctor Strange, and then the kid from Attack the Block is trying to nominate himself to be Black Panther.
He's pushing for something, but
yeah. Well, he's pushing to beat T'Challa.
I think he's too young.
I think he is too young too, but I mean,
he's got a little in
because of Star Wars.
Star Wars. Hey, Disney, I'm doing this for you. Can I do this?
Yeah, like, can I be
It's gotta kill it, man.
the best? Yeah, I mean, if he kicks ass in that, and they haven't announced it yet, I'm sure, but I just feel like at that point, his plate's gonna be so big, especially if he's a big character in Star Wars, he's probably not gonna want to do.
Well, that's what I was reading a great article on Zoe Saldana. How she's in 3 ongoing franchises that are like
Star Trek, Guardians,
and Avatar.
Avatar, dude.
Oh shit, she was an Avatar.
Yeah, I mean, she's amazing.
I just think it's funny, like back in the day, I was like, Michael Keaton didn't want to be Batman anymore because he didn't want to be like stereotyped as the superhero, and now it's like these actors are like, I will sign a friggin' 6-movie deal with you because it means I am set.
Remember when Sam Jackson signed 9 films or whatever? We're like, oh my god.
And now how many has he got left? Like 3 left. What's the thing I always say? Like, I remember when you first heard like the Avengers Initiative. It's like I never thought in a million years it would be as good as it is now and as big as it is now.
Well, Marvel had 0 track record of doing good with movies.
Yeah, I mean.
So you're like, no, they're gonna mess this up.
Because they didn't do it themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the problem that I feel DC's had with movies. They didn't do it themselves, so it's kind of like up in the air for whatever these big dudes that don't even understand what's going on in the comic books.
At least all their properties are under Warner Brothers. Marvel's they're still kind of scattered, but they've gotten more back with Marvel.
I used to say, like, the couple seconds you got from the Batman Superman of them, like, staring each other down in the rain, like, getting ready to throw down, like, the feel of that had 100% more of a comic book feel than any of the Nolan stuff did, which I think is good for the franchise and movies they want to do. Like, don't get me wrong, the Nolan stuff is just perfect, but if they're looking to add, like, Wonder Woman and Green Lantern and Flash and Shazam and all this, like, I think that was perfect for what they're trying to go with. And I mean, that suit looks identical to
the sign.
Oh, even his bat symbol. There's the big fat.
Big fat bat.
That's the only thing that makes me nervous. Not the only thing, but one of the big things that makes me nervous is Zack Snyder. He does a lot of great stuff, but then he does things that I don't like.
I was talking to my buddy Will about that, and he said the same thing. He's like, it's just weird that Zack Snyder's in charge of all this.
I really thought that the fight scenes in Man of Steel when there were too much.
Oh, see, I love
too far. It was like too long.
See, but
it's like, come on, man.
But with Superman,
not even that he destroyed the city.
With Superman, you never get that in a movie.
See, that's where I agree. Is I feel like he had to be like.
You have to understand that Superman is a fucking badass.
Oh, and I
can
didn't
destroy shit. And he was fighting someone who was probably stronger than he was to begin with.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I just felt as a viewer watching it, like this seems to be going on and on.
See, the reason I agree with you sometimes, but I like that they did that because I felt like he was telling everybody, like, look, you guys, I'm not going to do another Superman film where he's talking. Like, you want to see him throw down, here's what you've been wanting to see for the past, what has it been, like 30 years since Superman came out? Like, and I like the best part of any fight scene to me was right at the beginning, or right when, like, shit really started to hit the fan, and they grab his mom and throw her down, and he just comes in out of nowhere and knocks the shit out of him. Like, I love that.
I actually
like his helmet or whatever.
Yeah,
I liked when he killed Zod.
I thought that was good too. I totally
thought like, oh, Superman doesn't kill. I'm like, oh, then you don't know the.
Superman doesn't kill humans.
Yeah.
Superman doesn't kill things that aren't going to completely destroy the world.
Well, to me, that was like the Maxwell Lord dilemma in the comic books when Greg Rucka was doing Wonder Woman for Crisis, and she has like the lasso around Maxwell Lord, and
there's no way to
he's like the only way to stop this is to kill me. And he's like telling the truth because he got the lasso around him, and she's just like,
okay,
there's your only answer. Like,
Bruce is gonna die. Superman's gonna kill
everyone.
The world.
If I don't stop this, how do I stop it? You gotta kill me. Okay then. Snap.
And that's almost what Zod said.
Yeah, that's exactly. And he was right there trying to, like. I mean, I thought that was perfect, and I think it's cool because it does set it up as a threat to be like, all right. Like, you've never really had a lot of mistrust of Superman in the movies. Yeah. It's always like, oh, this, like, he's the one defender of justice and all this.
What was it, Richard Pryor's version?
Oh God, when he becomes like dickhead Superman. Yeah. I like how he straightens out the lean. Like, him being an asshole is straightening out the Leaning Tower of Pisa. That's his like ha ha ha. Like the fucking guy at the little stand. Like, he's like, how am I gonna sell these? You're such an asshole. Yeah, that movie's ridiculous. But even then, it was like, why, Superman? Why? Like,
but now what's great is he's got to live with that he killed somebody.
Yeah,
you can already kind of see it.
He killed one of the only surviving members
of his race.
Yep. Someone who he respected his dad.
Yeah,
and all this other crap. Like, well, no, he hated his dad.
Well, no, they had a mutual respect.
Growing up, they were friends.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like him and like what you know to be the Lex Luthor and like Superman relationship and certain backgrounds, certain histories of them.
Yeah.
They were friends when they were in Smallville. Then he hated him. Then he moved on, and then like he just hated Superman from then on.
I do like that they're not tying that in to this movie because they made it very obvious that everyone in Smallville knows that Clark Kent is Superman. Like,
oh, well,
like Pete and just the shit he did as a kid. Like, he was very,
special.
yeah.
Well,
that is a good scene too with the IHOP.
Yeah.
Where Crichton looks up and they just look at each other and he's just like, what the fuck?
Clark, what the hell are you doing?
Well, like, that was a very good. I gotta say too, like, just the way they did Zod too, because you did not see that coming. Because you always know Superman to be like, you know, the good guy, and then it's just like, snap, done, and you're like, holy
what's
shit.
his name? The guy who played Zod?
Michael Shannon.
Man, he was.
Oh, he owned it.
He was. And I love Zod from the 80s. I don't remember his name either.
Terrence Stamp.
Yeah, Terrence Stamp, thank you. That Zod, that's what I was introduced to. Awesome. So when this one came out, Michael Shannon, completely different, badass, amazing. I love that.
They put him back in the comics in the New 52. They did for a minute, like now he's gone again. But I like the idea of Zod as a villain, like to have an evil Superman.
Yeah.
That's just, and to me, it's kind of like the Sinestro thing, where he's viewed as a bad guy, but he just has different motives, or he getting what he wants like differently.
And he can't understand why other people, especially from Krypton, don't understand
would
why
not
he's
want
doing
to
what
back
he's doing.
him.
Yeah, why don't you want to do this? This is our civilization.
Like it's just survival.
To be fair, Clark or Cal or whatever doesn't really understand anything about it because he's not used to
I'm
it.
talking about when he was still on the planet and they took him prisoner and all that.
Yeah,
whatever.
Because he's just like, you guys, I'm looking out for us. What
Whereas
are you doing?
honestly, Jor-El did the same exact thing, but he did it more subtle, sending his son away.
Like cool guy Jor-El.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. I really wanted more.
This year's panel's kind of boring.
And I was still waiting for that Young Justice announcement because they teased the hell out of it, and nothing. Like even put it on Netflix. Just doing it straight to Netflix stuff.
There's still stuff being.
I hope so, because
revealed.
Young Justice was the best superhero cartoon I had watched in a very long time. Like probably since the Batman and Justice League stuff that came out. Because it was like perfect. And then between season 1 and 2, they jump ahead. So now like all the original people are like Robin's now Nightwing, and it's been like history's been filled, and now you have like Batgirl and you have Tim Drake Robin and like Beast Boy, and it was great the way they filled that stuff. And the season ended with Vandal Savage showing up on Apocalypse and shaking hands with Darkseid, and I was like, are you kidding me? And then it's like, oh, canceled. Like, it was kind of like Wolverine in the X-Men. That was a good one too. And then the following year, Comic-Con, they had all this teaser animation of like Havoc and Emma Frost was in the show, and a couple others, like really teasing it. And then I was like, oh, never mind, we don't have the budget anymore. Goodbye. I don't know. I really hope.
I think they would now because they got a whole cartoon. They got like 3 cartoon channels now.
Well, they announced the Guardians cartoon. Well, I mean, I guess they officially announced it, but I thought that was something that we already were gonna do. I just hope, because there was another Avengers cartoon that got canceled for this new one to start. It was like Earth's Mightiest Heroes. It was so good. Way better than what's on now. And then, because like the new one, it's like, oh, Falcon's the young kid, and he's on the Avengers, and oh man, Hulk and Hawkeye are arguing about cookies. Like, this is fun and cheeky and whatever. The other one was way more serious. And even the Ultimate Spider-Man right now, it's such a kid-heavy thing. It's like, oh man, look at me, I'm Spider-Man, I'm goofy, haha. Like, I really hope Guardians is good, because I think that's what I liked about Young Justice. It was still a kid's cartoon, but it had enough history involved that it was like, oh cool, like as an adult watching it, it's something you could totally watch with your kids, because it's like, oh man, this is happening. Like I just watched the Match episode, where they find like the first clone of Superboy.
Yeah.
It's Match. It's awesome. So awesome.
It's not the same thing, but I'm still pissed that they took off Tron Uprising.
That was good too.
Oh,
That was a really good show.
Loved it. Awesome. Great cast.
I just feel like when you do something with Disney XD though, it's like that's a channel people have to like request to have. It doesn't come with standard cable. So I think your viewership's going to be a lot different. I don't know. That's my 2 cents.